Hello! Welcome to a new vlog, and today it's gonna be shot all in one take. I'm just willing to film a huge sketchbook tour, which is my ugly no pressure sketchbook. I'm going to speak a little about every spread. There's a lot, so if you have some time to spend and if you're interested, keep on watching. So I wanted to show you what I've been doing in my no pressure sketchbook. I bought this large sketchbook in the store that is called Flying Tiger, and it was pretty cheap. The paper is not as thick as probably would be best for painting, but my goal was to feel very free about what I'm doing and not worry about messing things up. So that's why I bought it, and I'm super happy about it. And I filled every page with happiness and joy, and it took off all the pressure of creating something every day. And I'm gonna show you what's inside. So the first spread is devoted to my son. I tried to paint a little boy sitting in a huge chair, and I think it's really lovely and colorful and bright, and it started in January. I have the date here, January 2023. Then this was an attempt of a self-portrait, which is not very good. I feel like this person looks very old and nothing like me, but I tried looking in the mirror. Some cups, as you can see, I'm not very precious, so some color may get transferred to another page if they stick together. This is just a crazy floral doodle, which I normally do when I have no special idea of what to paint. I just draw a lot of flowers everywhere. And here's a little elf girl, which is a little bit, her face is a little bit strange and maybe even ugly, but I sort of like it. I dared to try. And as you can see, I'm using both crayons and markers everywhere, like I'm not limiting myself, and some gel pens. Here's a froggy. I was doing a frog in my another sketchbook, which is a lot more precious, and I'm trying to paint pretty stuff in there, and I tried to paint something else in here afterwards. This is just a shelf with cookies. Here's a birdie and the florals. I like how the colors mixed up here. This is when I bought a pencil, which is a multicolor pencil, so I was adding it everywhere. I found it to be so much fun of drawing with one pencil and changing the color as I go, so I did some detailing with it here. Here I'm using same colorful pencil. Here's a little landscape with flowers. I really love it. Oranges and an orchid. Like the subjects vary here. There's nothing that I am limiting myself with. I'm just doing whatever feels right at the time. Another froggy, some flowers. I really love this one. This turned out to be a lot better than the one I have in my precious sketchbook. Here's a house, a pink house. I really love how the houses look, and I always try to draw a beautiful house, but for me it feels like it never turns out well, but at least I tried. I often draw these funky characters with a gel pen. Yeah, I like this yoga girl, which she has her butt up, probably doing the downward dog. Another elf girl. I have no idea why I decided to draw her. This was drawn while I was waiting for my son to finish his pool lessons. He's learning to swim, and I was distracted by people around and I couldn't really concentrate on what I'm doing. Some faces. This one is crossed over because it didn't turn out well. I think this one looks like Madonna a little bit. Don't like this. Some more vases. I like to add funny details like this fly. I was not happy about winter being so cold. I missed spring, so here's a wintry scene. I think this is a rabbi or something, a Jewish guy. A funny bird, a cat, of course. This dog looks weird. I have no idea how to draw dogs. And this deer is kind of cute. I think this is the first time I'm drawing a deer. I stole my son's crayons, which are oil pastels, and I just played around with them. I wanted to lower the pressure of creating even more. A huge cat. My mom was laughing so hard when she saw this. But I do like these. This one is really cute. Meow. This is a really beautiful landscape, I feel like. Some crayons transferred on this page. As you can see, there's very little I do to save my drawings in here. I just don't want to care a lot about it. Some more weird crayon stuff, again transferred on this page. Some cups. I really like this, how this portrait turned out. I'm not sure if I used the reference or just tried to imagine it. I normally end up having a very weird face if I don't look at the reference. Maybe I was looking at something. Playing with landscapes. Really like this one. I love how colors are mixed up in here. Some cats. I love myself some cats. And flowers. This is when I started drawing portraits, painting portraits in my another sketchbook. That's why I wanted to practice, and these were very weird. I had no references here. I just imagined it all. I like this alien girl. This one is also very weird. As you can see, when I'm drawing, painting without a reference, the proportions are very off. But I do like the background, and I like her acid green hair. This one is cute. I was drawing it from a reference, and I remember that I was surprised with the result. I always have trouble drawing faces that are turned to the side, not with both eyes on you, and this is a success for me. Again, a floral doodle. Some more floral doodles, probably when I didn't know what to do and just wanted to do something. Maybe on a weekend I usually do something like this. This one is my favorite from my portrait series in another sketchbook, and I really loved this guy. It turned out so well that I couldn't expect it to be even better. This one is weird. I'm not sure what I wanted to say. I just wanted to draw another face. She looks like angry lady. I don't know. Some more weird faces. I like how this one turned out. I tried to use markers on a face, and I feel like I like it. Not sure about this funky old lady. Again, some weird stuff. Flowers. I love this form of petals that I often draw. Again, my portrait series that I was doing in another sketchbook, I wanted to play around with the same face once again after I did it in my other sketchbook, so I tried here too, and I really love these. And this is my favorite portrait of them all, also drawn from a reference. I feel like I did very good in here. I love her messy hair that are almost transparent. I love the way her face turned out and the color of it, and I love it, everything about it. This is when I started to make friends with Vincent. I have another YouTube video about this. lemons, another fantasy about lemons and oranges. This is when I was painting his flowers in a vase or something. Sunflowers, of course. I don't like how the sunflowers turned out. I think they are very complex flowers. And I wrote that I love my Kohinoor pencils. I have those pencils that are woodless. They are fully made out of the thing you color with. And yeah, I really love them, how vivid they are. Just some playing around and being happy about spring, waiting for spring. A weird portrait, a weird vase, not liking it. I wanted to do something abstract with markers. I really like how this turned out. I like how one marker goes over another and how the colors get mixed up. I think this is a fun thing to do. Some more playing around with my bright, vivid markers. Love the eyes. Some doodling, probably for the Valentine's Day, since there are so many hearts in here. This was when I went plein air drawing in the nature of my neighborhood. It was really fun, but I got cold very fast, so I ran back home and did some painting from my sketches. I used gouache here. I really like using gouache sometimes. Love this one. Some mantras for myself. Stop comparing yourself to other. Embrace the suck. You are good enough. There is no reason to envy. Seek excitement. Paint more. Creativity takes courage. This was when I started painting again in my sketchbook. Another week in my high pressure sketchbook, in my precious sketchbook. I wanted to play around with this reference. I was trying to paint a boat. I really like how this turned out, even though it's pretty messy and it doesn't really look like a sandy beach or a boat, but I think the abstractness of it is fun, and the colors. Just a funny portrait, nothing like the reference. I remember there was a cute red hair girl that I tried to draw. It doesn't look like her, but I like how huge her eyes are and her mouth. Again, trying to draw from reference, using pencils, trying to fall in love with pencils. Again, some funny doodly characters. I love how these dot eyes look and how they smile. And this huge cat is funny. And I have a note here that I'm running out of time today and I have to pick up my son from school. This was my attempt to paint Jessica from TV series Suits. There's this Jessica Pearson, a very beautiful African-American woman, and I tried my best to capture her large, beautiful facial features. I think African-American women are amazing, gorgeous, beautiful, one of a kind, so I just tried. And I love how I did her golden earrings with a golden marker, so they really shimmer. I love these. I tried to draw a woman wearing a colorful dress with a print, and I love how her pose turned out. This was some mishap. I love the funny girl in red pantyhose. Love this one, colorful, cool. This is Donna from the Suits. I tried to draw her. It looks nothing like her. My son was like, "Mom, it looks nothing like her." I'm like, I know. This was also fun to do. A lot of pencil work. This was something I did in my other sketchbook as well. Loved doing these birds. And here I have a funny note that my cat was too needy this day and he was disrupting me from drawing. But I really like how these birds turned out. Love the colorful flower. This is some weird thing. Love the bird. Some doodles. I love this drop-shaped thingies, which remind me of some oriental pattern. I often do these. This was some crazy abstract inspired by someone else I know. I'm not sure I like it. Probably done on the weekend. Another bird. This was my week of birds in my sketchbook. In my other sketchbook. So there are some birds here and there. Love how this vase turned out. I added some markers on top to make it stand out. I don't know, for some reason I wanted to paint a face and I thought it would be cool to have her being bald. And I really like how she turned out. Just some crazy abstract doodle. An owl. I painted an owl in another sketchbook. I really like how this one turned out as well. And this bird is one of my all-time favorites from this sketchbook. I think it turned out really realistic and beautiful, and I love how I mixed these two colors here. And I have a little note here: spring, I miss you, and some musical notes. This is just a weirdness. The flowers he gave me on International Women's Day. I have this bouquet still standing on my table. It's dying slowly but still alive, and I wanted to portray it here for memory. I used paint in here and pencils on this side. Just some colorful weekend doodles. I love how these shapes look like sea shells or something. I love the pattern, the colorfulness, some bugs, and some weird characters. I like this cat and this huge cat as well, and this cloud. And the bugs are okay. I made some cool ants in here. And we're getting close to the end, and this is what I did just recently. I feel like I was a little rushing to finish the sketchbook already. I was getting too excited for it to end. Oops, something got stuck here. I love these freestyle forms that I worked with markers on top. This is gouache paint and some ink pen on top. I don't like this one. Oops. I have this portrait here of a girl. I love her blue lipstick. Again, these drop-shaped thingies. We were drawing together with my son. He was drawing some monsters in his sketchbook and I was doing this. I tried to make sure that every single drop looks a little bit different than the other. It was fun. And this interesting Asian-looking person with the red lights. I don't know. I like it. And absolutely opposite cartoonish scene with flowers. Also like it. I was inspired by a cartoon my son was watching at the time. And here I left a little note for myself where I think about why starting this sketchbook was a good idea. First, it brought back the fun. Totally. I had so much fun in it. It wasn't precious and had no judgment, of course. I created more often, every day, and I found using other materials as fun as using paint. Totally, I used crayons, pencils, and markers, and pens, everything I could grab. I found using, I read this already, I tried various subjects and experimented more, for sure. Having so much to look back at all in one place is so exciting, totally. I love this bigger size and the cheap paper that lowers its preciousness. Yeah, so it was really fun and I'm super excited I finished it all up and I cannot wait to buy myself another one just like this. I hope you enjoyed watching this sketchbook tour. Let me know what you think in the comments.